Great. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Brahma Mirishtaparan Takare. Banushashi Bamisito. Buddha Guru Shukra. Shani Rahu Keteva. Sarvigraha Shantikara Bhavantu. Om. Well, greetings and welcome to another episode of Cosmic Kev 100. And that other voice in the background is my lovely wife, Anna.
Hello.
And this is for the week beginning Wednesday, the 23rd of July through the 30th of July, 2025. So what we have today for Wednesday is the moon in Gemini in a lunar mansion known as Punavarsu with Jupiter together. So it's a lovely day today. And as of tomorrow at 12:11 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, the moon will be in a lunar mansion known as Pushama, and it will be a new moon. So the sun and moon will both be in Pushama, about 7 degrees, 56 minutes. So, very close to 8 degrees. And Pushama is considered to be the best nakshatra. And because it's got the discipline of Saturn ruling it, and it's got this patience. And I see her kind of a kindred to the priestess card in the tarot in a lot of ways. There's all this knowledge, there's all this mystery. But there's like a symbol of the udders of a cow. So there's this nature that is inherently giving, and it's nourishing. And the ruling deity associated is known as Brisapati. It's another name for Jupiter, the priest, or, in this case, probably priestess. This is a part of the sky in Cancer where Jupiter gets exalted. So we're talking about the sidereal zodiac in this portion of the forecast. This is what they do in Vedic astrology in India. There's actually more people that study this than any other kind of astrology, but Westerners in US, Canada, Australia, and Europe were more akin to tropical astrology, which is based on seasons. So in that case, we have a new moon in Leo tomorrow. And so I think any matter of the heart you want to focus on is good, but I also like to bring it back to that sidereal Vedic Cancer. It's about nourishing, it's about honoring the Divine Mother. So between now and the next new moon in late August, this is a cycle to work on supporting each other, nourishing each other, practicing generosity, spiritual devotion. All these things are going to really pan out to something good. Now, beyond that, we've got Mercury retrograde and will be until August 11th. So my advice is avoid any kind of technological commitments or any major purchases until after August 11th. Otherwise, miscommunication tends to run amok during Mercury retrograde. Mercury is in Western Cancer right now, sidereal Gemini, and it could be worse, but you just be patient, slow down. Saturn's also retrograde, so with things, long-term goals and stuff, just take your time. Whenever a planet's retrograde, it's actually closer to the Earth. It's kind of like how when you're driving and you see like a picket fence and it's moving so rapidly, when a planet's retrograde, it seems like it's slowed down, standing still, whereas like something way off in the distance from that picket fence seems like it's not necessarily moving at all. And that's a way of looking at it, although it's sort of opposite because the planet's closer. So that's another way of looking at it. Now, commonly people say it's somewhat not as powerful, but I like how the Vedics look at it. Retrograde planets are powerful. They're closer to the Earth, so they're just saying pay attention. Pay attention to the principle that's behind it. So we're going to go sign by sign in the Western zodiac. So greetings Aries. That means people born between March 20th to 19th of April. I mean, generally speaking, some people born March 20th are Pisces, and in Vedic astrology, you're all Pisces unless you're born after the like the 13th or 14th of April. But, you know, going back to that, we're going to, in the Western zodiac, this is Aries. And so Saturn's in your first house, Neptune's in the first house, conjoining it. And we're in Leo season now. So Leo is about your children. It's about your heart. It's about learning and teaching, and it's about travel, and it's actually considered a very good fortune house for you. So, I mean, overall, I think good things are happening. With Jupiter in the third house, travel, communication, those things are expanding for you. But most of all, with the Saturn and Neptune in the first house, it's like slow down and get a spiritual practice. Even if you don't necessarily believe in God or divine principles or spiritual principles, just have like a gratitude practice, like even writing in a journal and practicing thank you. This is going to just do this and do it militantly. Maybe have a dream journal. This could also help you in this time. And Mars is, you know, in Virgo in Western astrology, working on your health, never hurts. Greetings, Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. So, you know, Venus moving through Gemini, and, you know, by the end of the week, it'll probably get over into Cancer. It's, you know, you're investing your finances, you're paying attention to your family, your children, your parents, your siblings, grandparents, whoever's there in your life immediately, roommates, even them count to an extent, neighbors, and just working on creating peace, even if things seem a little bit erratic or kind of out there. That's really the focus. And, you know, there's going to be some surprise ways you'll make money, surprise ways you'll lose money. And Leo time is definitely a time for you to be focused on parents, family, home, fixed assets, household stuff. Greetings, Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope. So, we've got this new moon, you know, in the constellation of Cancer, but in the tropical sign of Leo. And so, along with the moon being there with Sun and Mercury, you know, when I did the Vedic chart on this was all in the 11th house, and it made me think to myself, this is about community. And in your chart, it's all in the third house, which is kind of like a Gemini-like house. So it's also about community. And so nurturing, helping other people, helping feed people in the neighborhood who may not be doing as well. This is going to be a good thing to do. Making your relationship with your siblings better. We can work on that. We can try that. And it's really important to realize as well that we're in a kind of a Kalsarpa yoga where all the planets are on one side, so things tend to be really lopsided. Now, you know, in a few days, once we get the moon moves over by the weekend in the land of Libra, you know, it won't be quite as one-sided. Things will sort of start opening up a little bit. Greetings, Cancer, and welcome to your horoscope. So, I mean, here's the good news. Jupiter's in your first house. So this is like a time of really expanded opportunities, expanded knowledge, great time for travel, a lot of blessings around you. You're kind of focused on your money more with Mercury in the second house and the Sun and Moon there with this new moon. And so, but I would hesitate in making any investments until August 11th. I just think that things are so unstable right now and they're really likely to change. So just be smart about that type of thing. And you'll be moving through this. This will be like kind of the beginning of a more introspective time until we get to that next full moon. So keep that in mind. Um, Greetings, Leo, and if you're a Leo having a birthday this week, I just want to wish you a very happy birthday. So that's going to go to my friend DJ Spenny and Gabrielle Walters, to Sanjay Dev, to my friend Greg up in Corvallis, Oregon, Greg Bennett, and to my friend Chris, who had a birthday just yesterday, and to Willow John, and so many other great souls that I know of having birthdays this week. Okay, so this is a time to focus on being in your heart. You're the flavor of the month. This new moon being really close to the beginning of Leo in tropical Western astrology is a great kickoff. So you're really going to feel that vibe of celebrating life, of taking responsibility, of being able to be good at a multiple amount of things. Like Leo being the sign of royalty, it's sort of like anyone who's in royalty in traditional societies had to learn many different art forms, foreign languages, how to play music, how to do art, how to do dancing, knowing geography about other places, mathematics, basic language skills, history, where things have been, where other people have been. These are all kind of things that I put, which not on the Leo palette, which maybe not a lot of people do, but this is how I look at astrology in my 43 short years of learning this subject. And I think with this North Node being in Pisces right now, in tropical astrology, in your eighth house, it's like you really want to learn about the cult and his secrets, and here I can give you the best wisdom you'll ever learn. God lives in the praises of his people. The joy of the Lord is your strength. And in your weakness, his strength is made perfect. If you can focus on these three things, it doesn't really matter what goes on in the stars or the planets, you're going to be okay. It's respond with gratitude, keep yourself engaged in scriptures, uplifting books and teachings that bring out the more godly aspects. That's the way to win it. and, greetings, Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope. Now, Sun in Leo, Moon in Leo, Mercury in Leo. This is your 12th house, and 12th house is where the dreams are. 12th house is the harvest house. It's also kind of a house of losses. It's a place where we kind of go to sleep sometimes and have a blind spot, and it's really about letting go. Like the best thing to do, especially if you're a Virgo or Virgo rising or Virgo moon, is go to the wilderness. Go someplace in the wilderness and spend that alone wilderness time, camping out, or in a monastery or ashram or nunnery, place where you could do some spiritual connection, because it's really about quiet time in the bedroom and paying off debts and just doing the best you can with what you have, and just being aware to slow down. Mercury's retrograde, we all have blind spots and we need each other, we need having other sets of eyes really helps us. So, Moon will be in your first house as we get into Friday, and so that's going to help, So the weekend looks really positive for you in that sense, and it's just kind of a time to focus on your imagination and make good with people. People from your past are likely to show up, and you hopefully you have good karma, good resolve. All right, greetings, Libra, and welcome to your horoscope. So next week, the moon will be in Libra. So Monday, Tuesday, more like Tuesday and Wednesday next week. So until then, this is sort of a social time for you with the new moon. And so all your friends and people that are helpful for you, they're going to be more in focus. Um, Venus still in Gemini. It's like love is sort of an adventure, and it's something that we learn from. Sometimes people in Venus in the ninth house are in long distance relationships. Sometimes that happens, but Venus is going to be in Cancer, I think, by the end of this period. And Jupiter being in your midheaven in the workspace, it seems like people go on vacation. You're given more responsibility, and the new moon to me looks like a party. I mean, you kind of have to watch your back a little bit with Mars and K2, the south node of the moon, in your 12th house. It's like it's not all just like roses and ice cream. So just practice some caution there. Okay, so greetings, Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope. So your key phrase is I create. The old school astrologers say I desire. But I mean, I create is a lot better than I desire, I think, because it shows something rather than a lack, a sense of innovation and a sense of what your true purpose is. Fixed water is reflection. So we look at Mars with Scorpio, and Mars being in Virgo. That's third house. 11th house rather. So these are important friends in your life. Probably more important male friends, or the type of women that are sort of outdoorsy, leadership, maybe more inclined to be single. But they're bringing some benefit to you. Pluto in Aquarius is like kind of transforming your home space, transforming your relationship with family, and transforming, fixed assets in your life. And so, a lot of this, as you can see, is this other side chart dealing with other people and their stuff. So, whatever you can do to just have quiet time and inner peace, that's going to be great. Do that for yourself, because that's going to make everything better as we go through this week. And this could be a promotion at work. This could be a time in the workplace where they see your good qualities and you move forward. All right, so greetings, Sagittarius, and welcome to your horoscope. Relationship issues with Uranus and Gemini. And Venus in Gemini, rather, in your 7th house. So being in an inspired relationship, how do you inspire love? And if you're in a workplace, even any kind of contract you have with other people, bringing both beauty and inspiration into that picture. And of course, Jupiter in Cancer is about your 8th house. So it's it is like other people's property, other people's stuff. So there's a part of you that's sort of humbled by this position, and allowing other people to help you actually is good karma for you. It's good karma to ask for help. Now, if you're one of those people that's always asking for help and never giving, that's not good karma. There is a payback. So actually, one of the remedies too in the 8th house is paying off debts, making donations to people that are suffering. That'll make your life go better. So that is about all I have to say for you this week. Otherwise, Leo time, the full moon, you're going to be in your heart. The new moon, rather. God, I did a Jenny Petrie. She did that last week, too. Going from new moon, because new moons are more important than full moons, folks. This is where we start our stuff, and we have since the beginning of time. We'll use it as a marker. Okay, we're on a new cycle here, and yeah, just practice patience, and it looks like you'll be going on a vacation, having some kind of adventure. Greetings, Capricorn, and welcome to your horoscope. With this new moon, it's in the 8th house. That's other people's property. It's occult studies, it's death, it's birth, it's your intuition, it's things that you don't necessarily control. It's where other people have their power. It could be your mate's power. That's all. It's okay. Let them have their power. In a way, it's good to get out of the spotlight a little bit. Now, Saturn being in Aries now, not the greatest position. So this is your home. So you're kind of like fixing things in your house, fixing leaks and plumbing, and making things a little better, a little more solid, fortifying things. That's pretty much your best choice, and and changing the way you look at money and resources. That's generally what's happening this week. Greetings, Aquarius, and welcome to your horoscope. So, what we're seeing here is new moon in the seventh house. So, this could be a fresh start in relationship. If you're in a couple relationships, this is a good time for you to go on a romantic little getaway, even if it's just like one night or something. Just make something nice happen with this new moon coming on. Bring a little bit of niceness. Now, I know it's on Thursday, but Friday night moon's being Ashlesha, that can be still romantic, and it'll be in the eighth house after that in the Maga Nakshatra. But it's also like when we get together in relationships, we're really honoring our ancestors in a lot of ways. And a lot of people fail to note that. We see ourselves as just these autonomous, independent people, but our relationships are not just for us, they're for the future and they're for those in the past. And future and past are all happening simultaneously. So just put your best energy in your relationships. I know things are a little conflicting with, Mars and Sun opposite Pluto in some ways, or not exactly, but they're moving towards that, and so just make peace, transform everything towards peacefulness and harmony. And then we've got Pisces. So greetings, Pisces. Welcome to your horoscope. So in Vedic astrology, the majority of you are, sidereal Aquariuses, and Rahu, or the North Node, is in the Vedic system is ruled by Aquarius, and so that's like in your first house for most of you, the ones born, the 14th, 13th, and before. Being above board, being completely transparent and honest. This is probably a really hard thing for a Western Pisces to do. But that's what's going to make everything work in the best way. That's how you build trust, is by being transparent, being accurate, being honest. You're really good at being forgiving, but sometimes you have to realize you also have to be forgiven. You may have deceived other people without really being conscious of it. So it's a time to get into consciousness. And Leo time for Pisces is about the details of life that help you be healthier, that help you be a better servant in helping other people, helping heal your life, and helping you deal with like people that are maybe at work that aren't like the best people. I highly recommend Marshall Rosenberg's Nonviolent Communication for dealing with these type of situations where you're oriented towards feelings and thoughts, and you learn how to distinguish between the two, and you remove all blame of other people and yourself, and you get into a better situation where you're able to work on things in a healthy manner by being a needs detector. So what a better thing to do while the moon and sun are transiting your sixth house than to become a needs detector. That's going to help. So with this, I just want to close and just say, it's been a turbulent time in some ways, but nature always bats last. Find yourself a piece of God's green earth or brown earth, and depending on where you live. I mean, even in the desert, if you're there for days, you will realize it's teeming with life. And get into that rhythm of life, the birds singing, the song of a creek or the ocean, or waves lapping in a lake, and be a blessing to yourself so you can be a blessing to others. Thank you so much for being here. I love your comments. Keep them coming. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification.
Share with your friends.
Share with your friends. The more views I get,
You made it to 1,000.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Dad. Thank you for you 1,000 subscribers. I love all of you. Shant, John and Colleen, Nicole, Wordsley, and some of you other new folks coming in there. You are not forgotten. You're so appreciated. So, Om Shanti, 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 Om Tat Sat.